Hello, students, and welcome to another 6th grade math episode with me, your host, Mr. Nerlich. Today we're working on lesson 1.1, which is identifying integers and their opposites. Next, we have positive numbers. And positive numbers are numbers that are greater than 0. Then we have negative numbers, and they are less than 0. And when you write a negative number, you must always use a negative sign. Some of you might wonder, why don't I use a positive sign in front of all positive numbers? So for example, when I write the number 1, I don't put a positive sign in front of it. And that's because everyone is under the assumption that when you have a number that is not negative or it is positive, that there is no need for a sign because we all assume that it is positive. When you have negative numbers, you must always use a negative sign in front, or else people will think that the number is positive. If you choose to put a positive sign in front of a positive number, it's not incorrect, but it is definitely not needed in order for people to understand that it's a positive number. So next we're going to look at some positive and negative numbers on a number line. This number line will be similar to the one on your notes. And you can see how I wrote it, that the negative numbers over here all have a negative sign. These are negative. And then over here are the positives. And this, I'll put an arrow on the end because these negatives continue on forever to the left, and the positives continue on forever to the right. Okay. We're going to talk about 0 in a little bit on why it's not positive or negative, and we'll get to that when we get to our first example. All right, so the next thing we need to understand, we said we're identifying integers and their opposites. So opposite numbers are numbers on a number line that are the same distance from 0, but on different sides of 0. Okay, so they are the same distance from 0, but on different sides of 0. So if we look at our number line, and I put 2 dots up here, at -3 and 3. And notice when I make the dots are on the number line itself, not above, not below. It's on the number line itself. Okay, that's very important. And so when we look, -3 is 3 jumps from 0. So that means its distance from 0 is 3. And 3 is 3 jumps from 0. So its distance from 0 is 3. Therefore, -3 and 3 are opposites. Okay, so let's look at our first example. I want you to box the positive numbers and circle the negative numbers. I'm going to box the positive numbers and we're going to circle the negative. So I have 4, 6, -1, 8. Then we have 14, -99, -3, and 0. So we're going to box the positive numbers and circle the negatives. I'm going to box in all the positives, circle my negatives, Okay. I did not circle 0. And 0 is tricky. Why is it tricky? Because circle is unique. It is neither positive or negative. Example number 2. So I'm going to draw a table, and the table shows the amount of money Johnny made each week from mowing lawns. So the table is set up so that there are weeks he mowed lawns and then how much money he made. So I have the weeks on top through 7, and then I have money made. So in the first week, he made 50, then 75, then minus 20, 100. He then made minus 50, or negative 50, 200, and 175. Okay. So let's list the negative numbers in this table. So the negative numbers in this table are negative 20 and negative 50. All right, now we want to look at what are the opposite numbers for the money made in weeks 1, 3, 5, and 7. We have to look at weeks 1, 3, 5, and 7. And we want to write the opposites. So we have 4 numbers. All right, so in week 1, it's 50. So the opposite of 50 is negative 50, because 50 is 50 jumps from 0, and negative 50 would then be 50 jumps from 0. Next number, negative 20. So the opposite of negative 20 is 20. Negative 50. The opposite of negative 50 is 50. And then the opposite of 175 is negative 175. So we have these numbers, and I want you to tell me or think, what do the negative numbers mean, and what do you think caused them? So why did Johnny earn negative $20? I mean, it's not like he cut some lawns for people, and then all of a sudden, the person said, "Hey, Johnny, you owe me $20 today." So what do you think could have caused him to lose money on those days? All right. So hopefully you spent some time thinking about this. If you needed to pause for longer, I hope you did so. So I kind of gave it away that he lost money. When I said, what does it mean? He lost money on these days, which is why you show a negative. But why did he lose money? Well, a good explanation for this could be that maybe Johnny had to go fill up all of his lawnmowers with gas. So he had to go to the gas station and buy a lot of gas for all of his lawnmowers and weed trimmers and everything like that. So because he doesn't have any electric, so he has all gas stuff. So he had to go buy gas. Maybe on week 5, he made good money, but then maybe he needed a part for one of his lawnmower, or maybe he needed more line for his weed trimmer because your line can wear out, and most people have ones where you replace new line in, and it's not cheap. So maybe he might have cut grasses still that day, but he now has to go and buy some more. And then let's see. So we know that Johnny had to go do some things, and we said that the negative numbers means he did what? He lost money. So I wanted to make sure, forgot about that on your notes. Make sure you put that in there that Johnny lost money on that particular week. But if we look at the numbers overall, Johnny is making money. Now, I don't know if this is the kind of money I would be happy making in a week, especially or over 7 weeks. But if this is like your first job, like when I had a paper route and I mowed lawns, this is the kind of money I made, not even maybe even half that much. So when I was 13 years old making this kind of money, I'd be happy. As an adult, this would be a little low. So I guess you have to take things into perspective when you're looking at tables and money and things like that. All right, so you have some. I would like you to try them on your own. Good luck and keep soaring, Falcons. Have a great day.